Someone messaged me on Instagram not that long ago and asked me what my must-have items would be before starting medical school in September. And I started writing out a message and I realised how useful it would be to so many of you to have a bit of a list of must-have items that would be useful for you during medical school. So whether you're starting medical school in September or you're already a fully fledged medical student, then hopefully these items will be really useful for you. And I actually wish that someone had given me this list before I started medical school, because there are some really top-notch items on here. So if you don't know me, my name's Sarah. I'm a doctor in the UK and I make videos about my life as a doctor and what I get up to in my free time. Now, in the description box below, I have linked all of the products that I'm going to be mentioning today. They are affiliate links, which means that I will make a small commission if you choose to buy the items based on my recommendation. So if you do choose to buy, thank you. I really appreciate your support. I've also started a weekly newsletter where I send out my recommendations, quotes, recipes, other things that I would normally recommend to my friends and family. I'm sending it all to you in your emails, and that goes out every Tuesday. So if you want to keep up to date with that, then have a look down below and subscribe to my email newsletter. Let's get into the recommendations. So first on my list, and I think I will always recommend this to everybody, an eye mask. This eye mask is not an ordinary eye mask. This is a complete blackout eye mask. It's got these cut out bits for your eyes. So this actually sits on your face, and there's a hole here for your eyes, which means that it's completely blackout and it doesn't actually touch your eyelids, which is nice. It's not very irritating like a normal eye mask would be. It's got a stretchy back and a velcro, so you can adjust its shape based on the size of your head. I've got a tiny little pea head, so I have to have mine on the smallest setting. And I have actually bought 2 of these because each week I wear this every single night for bed, and each week I put one of these in the wash with my bedding, and they just go straight in the washing machine. Super easy, keeps it really nice and hygienic because this is sat on your face for like 8 hours a day. And honestly, I recommend these to everyone. If you buy one thing from this video, I hope it's this, because this bad boy is a must-have item. Now, the reason I'm putting it in a medical school video is because in medical school you'll be working long hours, you might be studying a lot, and your sleep is so important for learning and memory, and this will help you get a really good night's sleep. So the earplugs, again, you can just buy the normal sort of foam earplugs, the kind of freebie ones that you'd get free on a plane. They are good, and I will link a packet down below. But if you really want to block out all noise, so if you've got, you know, a noisy household, I know that a lot of you will be staying at home at the moment from September, doing distance learning. So you might be with your family, maybe they make a lot of noise and you need your beauty sleep, or maybe you're moving in with housemates and you never know how noisy they will be. These are some silicone earplugs, and they come in this little packet, so really good for travel. And they look like this, so all squidgy, silicone-y. And basically you take these out and you can mould them to the shape of your ear. You soften it in your hands, rub them together, squeeze them down and squish them into your ear, and I kid you not, they block out all noise. And now this is coming from someone who is a very light sleeper, and I have to sleep in the daytime a lot because I work night shifts as a doctor. And Vince was saying to me the other day that he couldn't believe that I slept through all the roadworks that were going on outside our house. And the reason I slept so well is because of these. This eye mask I have bought for loads of friends and family because it's just incredible. So I hope that you guys enjoy it as well. It's quite expensive for an eye mask. It's like £10, but best £10 you'll spend. Second up is a stethoscope. You will have to have a stethoscope for medical school. You'll be using it in your clinical examination classes. And I have this one that I bought back in 2013, so 7 years ago, and it's still lasting me well. I am due an upgrade really, because this is still the kind of basic model, but this will get you through medical school and, you know, your first few years as a junior doctor, just like mine has. So I've got the Littmann Classic 2, and it came engraved. I got my name and some hearts because, you know, you're listening to hearts with it mainly. And I love this stethoscope. It comes in loads of different colours, and this is the perfect one for medical school. Have a look at what your medical school recommends, because I know that some medical schools actually recommend certain types of stethoscope, but most of them will recommend the Littmann stethoscopes, and these are available on Amazon. If you are going to buy yourself a stethoscope, I would also recommend getting yourself a case for that stethoscope, because you'll be chucking it in your bag and bringing it back out again. It can easily get damaged. If you're spending 70 plus quid on a stethoscope, then you want to keep it nice and you don't want it to break. So buy a case as well. So my next recommendation is a laptop or a tablet. Now I'm not going to go into loads and loads of detail here because there are loads of places you can go for recommendations for laptops and tablets, but I'm going to go through 3 recommendations for laptops and tablets. So my first recommendation is this is the laptop that I actually want to buy. It's on my wish list, but it's a lot of money, so I kind of feel like I can't justify it at the moment. It's the Huawei MateBook Pro. It's about £1,700. I'm desperate to buy this because I've recently bought a Huawei phone and I love it. It's the best piece of technology I've ever owned. It's such high quality, and I feel like the MateBook Pro would be as high quality as that. So it boasts that it's got 13 hours of battery life, which is amazing for studying. It's got a 13.9-inch full screen touch screen, so that would be really useful for, you know, taking notes, annotating diagrams, drawing your own diagrams and annotating your lecture slides. And it weighs 2.55 kilos, so not too heavy to put in your bag and take with you to uni every day. The second recommendation is the Apple MacBook Air, and this is probably similar specification to the Huawei, again around the same sort of price point, a lot of money, and definitely not one that I would have been able to afford right before starting med school. If you guys have watched my video about how I spent all my savings before medical school, you will know that I was not in the best financial position. But again, if you have that sort of money behind you, or your parents are willing to help you buy something good quality before you start medical school, this is the sort of thing that will last you for years. Hopefully it will last you all the way through medical school and beyond. The Apple MacBook Air has 256 gigs of memory. It's very thin and light, and it has 4 million pixels, so the screen is super high quality. It will look amazing for watching back videos for learning, and obviously watching back recordings of lectures if your university does that. It's got fingerprint password protection, and it's meant to have amazing video and sound quality, so if you are moving away to university, then this will be a great option for FaceTiming friends and family on as well. And if you want something a bit more low budget, this is the sort of thing that I would have gone for. It's got loads of recommendations on best laptops for students on all of the lists that I had a look on Google for. It's the Acer Chromebook 315. This comes in at £299, so a lot more affordable. It's got a 15-inch screen. It's not touchscreen. It just works like a basic laptop, but it has a 10-hour battery life. It's got 64 gigs of memory and 4 gigs of RAM. So yeah, this would be a really good option if you want something a bit more affordable. Number 4 is the Oxford Handbook. Any of these handbooks are amazing. Now, this isn't something that you will necessarily need to buy at the start of university. This will be more useful in your clinical years. So Oxford Handbook have a range of different handbook options. So they have ones for starting your foundation years, and then they also have ones for individual specialities. They have an absolute wealth of clinical information in. Apparently they're pocket sized, but again, as I've said in previous videos, I don't know who has pockets that are that big, but they are amazing. I used a couple of them during my foundation years, and I'm actually thinking I should probably get hold of the emergency medicine one. Number 5 is something that I bang on about in a lot of my videos. If you've seen my vlogs before, it's a thermos flask and a water bottle. I'm always talking about how it's important to stay hydrated when you're at work on the wards, but the same applies at medical school. You're working long hours, you've got lots of lectures through the day. Take yourself a water bottle, refill it at the water bottle at the water filling station at your university. Stay hydrated, and it saves you money having to buy a drink every day. The same goes with the thermos flask. This one is my particular favourite. It looks quite nice and it comes in loads of different colours. I personally am a bit of a coffee fiend. I love having a coffee, and taking one in a thermos flask means that you can make it how you like it, and you're saving yourself £3 or £4 every single day. I take a coffee with me every single day to work. In hot weather, I take an iced coffee, which is super easy to make, and I would recommend doing that. It feels like such a nice treat to have like a nice icy drink, and it's kept really cold in your thermos. Number 6, again, is something that I probably shouldn't get so excited about, but I do. It's Tupperware. An absolute game changer in the Tupperware world are these casserole Tupperware dishes. So these are heat-proof glass. They can go in the oven. You can use them as a normal casserole dish, and then they come with a plastic lid so you can store things as you would in any other Tupperware. You can use them as your lunchbox. They can go in the fridge. They can go in the freezer. Really useful to save space. You don't need to have separate casserole dishes and Tupperware boxes, and also great for saving money so you can batch cook and take lunches with you to uni, which is a must if you're a student on a budget. And on that note, I've also got these little cutlery sets. These are really useful when you're a student, and if you do want to buy food at the canteen, then these are useful to have with you. Very environmentally friendly. You're not using throwaway plastic cutlery. If you're not keen on the plastic ones, then there is also a metal option. Comes in its own little case, so it keeps it nice and clean. You get a knife, fork, and a spoon in this set. So yeah, get yourself one of these sets, chuck it in your bag with you, and take it with you to uni every day. My next recommendation is, again, something that's quite expensive, but now I've got it, I absolutely can't live without them. It's these noise cancelling headphones. Now, I've only got the case here because Vince has actually accidentally taken my noise cancelling headphones to work with him. I don't know how that's happened. But these are the Beats Studio noise cancelling headphones. I think they're about £180. So not very cheap, but worth every penny in my opinion. These are going to be really useful for you for studying long hours in the library. Like I said before, if you're at home with your parents and your family, you put these on, you will not hear a noise outside of your little sphere. If you like to listen to music while you're studying, these are really good. You can just pop your music on and really get in the zone with your studying. Otherwise, they'll be useful for listening to lectures online. So I would 100% recommend these. They are incredible. The other great thing about these is, one, they come in their own case, and two, they fold up, so very neat and compact, and they appeal to me because I like things that are neat and can fit away nicely. Number 8 is buying a whiteboard and some pens. When I was in my final year of university, I moved in with one of my friends, and she had this huge whiteboard on her wall. She would use this to revise. It was so good. We would sit there together and draw out diagrams. Then obviously you can wipe them away. Really great for studying. I would recommend getting yourself a whiteboard and pens. You can either get one that you mount on your wall, or you can get one that you could put on like an easel, if you're not allowed to mount things on your wall if you're in rented accommodation. But really, really useful, especially if you're going to be living with other medical students and you want to study together. Number 9, what student would be without a backpack? And I've got my favourite recommendation here for you guys. So this is a backpack that I bought to take with me travelling and to take on holiday. I've recommended this in a previous video and I love it. I will always recommend this backpack. So it's a nylon material. It's got loads of pockets, which I love. So you can slot loads of different things in. Keep your water bottle here, keep your thermos here. And this bag is an anti-theft backpack, which means that the main zip is actually accessed against your back, so someone can't come along and just open the back and take your things. So this is how it looks against your back. It unzips like this. And then it has loads of different pockets inside. So you could put your tablet in here, you've got another pocket here, and then in the front bit you've got a zipped pocket and another pocket. So, and then I would put my lunchbox down at the bottom here. So loads of pockets, which is great. This is a really great option for university. Number 10 of my must-have items is a wall planner or a diary to keep yourself organised. In medical school, there are going to be a lot of different dates and deadlines that you need to keep on top of. Obviously, we all use our phones and we use our iPads and tablets and laptops. Maybe you use Google Calendars, which is what I personally use, but having an actual paper visual display of your calendar is really useful at university. I don't know how it will work at your university, but with ours we had week by week themes of topics that we were going to be covering, and it would be really useful to have this on a big wall planner stuck on your wall so that you know what's coming up each week and you can be prepared and read ahead for your different topics. As well as this, there might be deadlines for things like essays and coursework, and maybe things to do with societies you've joined. It's a really great way of keeping yourself organised so that you're not having to remember everything all at once. It's all just there on your wall, filled in. Number 11 I think is another must-have, and I would hope that all of you will go and buy this book. Grey's Anatomy Student Edition. Now, you've probably all heard of Grey's Anatomy because of the programme, but I'm talking about the book, and I'm talking specifically about the student edition. Click on the link down below in the description box to see the exact one that I mean and buy that one, because the original Grey's Anatomy is amazing, but the student edition is so much better for revision and learning. I loved this book, and it really helps you understand things in a 3D way. It's got loads of different diagrams, and yeah, I love this book. It's really, really crucial for university. Number 12 is something that's going to be a little bit more useful later in medical school, mainly when you're on clinical placements. Now, this isn't very trendy, but it's very, very useful, and it's a clip-on phone case. I bought this when I started my F1, so when I first started as a doctor. You pop your phone in there, and then you either put it onto your belt or you can clip it onto your trousers or skirt via that little clip. And again, like I said, not very trendy, but when you're on the wards doing your clinical placements, you're not allowed to carry a bag with you. And as girls, most of us don't have the luxury of having big pockets like guys do to put our phones in, but you do want to keep your phone on you for using things like medical apps and keeping in touch with your medical team. So yeah, I would get one of these little phone cases, super useful, very nerdy. And finally, number 13 is a portable phone charger. I have this particular one. This is amazing. Vince bought me this one. He's really into batteries, being an engineer. He wanted to buy one that had the longest life, and it's got, I don't know how many charges it's got in it, but it's brilliant, really useful to make sure that when you're out and about at medical school, your phone never runs out of charge, or even your laptop or tablet. This one that I do have is quite chunky and heavy. If you wanted to buy something a bit more lightweight, then there are some other really good options, and that you can just chuck in your handbag, and they don't take up much space and they don't weigh a lot. So that brings me to the end of this list. I hope you guys have found this really useful. Make sure you check out the description box below. It's got everything linked. You can sign up to my newsletter there, and you can also save my blog post to your bookmarks bar so that you can come back to this list anytime you want. Great idea to send this list to your parents or to any friends or family that maybe want to buy you a gift for starting medical school. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, a subscribe button, and the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I upload a video. Anyway guys, hope you've enjoyed this, and if you are starting at medical school, leave me a comment down below. I would love to know which medical school you're starting at. Good luck guys, thanks for watching, I'll see you next time. This week's shout out goes to Kath Ramaya. You commented on my last video, and thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the longer vlog. I will definitely be making more of those in the future.